Welcome back to Mystery Minds, the channel where we dive into the darkest corners of true crime, uncovering stories that shock, intrigue, and leave us questioning the world around us. In today's case, we bring you a chilling and twisted tale, one of revenge, betrayal, and unimaginable violence. This is the story of the 2008 Covina massacre. A tale of anger, loss, and calculated brutality. This case will leave you wondering, how could a joyous holiday turn into a nightmare? And what drives someone to destroy not only others but themselves in the process? Stay with us as we unravel the horrifying and tragic story of Jeffrey Pardo and the Christmas Eve massacre, forever changed a quiet Californian community. On Christmas Eve 2008, in the peaceful Los Angeles suburb of Covina, a family gathered to celebrate the holiday. It was supposed to be a night of joy and togetherness, but instead, it turned into one of the most gruesome crimes in California's history. Jeffrey Pardo, a 45-year-old man, arrived at his ex-wife's family home dressed as Santa Claus. He carried a gift-wrapped package containing a homemade flamethrower, and in his possession were multiple firearms. Just months earlier, Bruce had finalized a bitter divorce from his wife, Sylvia Ortega. The divorce left him angry, humiliated, and consumed by rage. At approximately 11:30 p.m., Bruce knocked on the door. The Ortega family, including about 25 guests, were celebrating together. An 8-year-old girl gleefully ran to open the door, excited to see Santa Claus. Without hesitation, Bruce pulled out a 9mm handgun and shot the little girl in the face. Though she survived, it was the horrifying prelude to what came next. Bruce stormed into the house, firing indiscriminately at partygoers. Chaos erupted as guests scrambled for cover, but the small, packed space offered little refuge. He executed some victims in cold blood, including his ex-wife Sylvia and her parents. Then, Bruce unveiled the second part of his plan, arson. Using the flamethrower, he doused the home in flammable liquid and ignited it. The fire quickly consumed the house, leaving only charred ruins by the time firefighters arrived. 9 people, ranging in age from 17 to 80, were killed in the attack and 3 were injured. One of the survivors made it to a neighbor's house, where she called police and identified Pardo as the likely suspect. After the massacre, Bruce fled in a rented car, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. But his escape was far from flawless. During the attack, the flames from his flamethrower had severely burned him, melting parts of the Santa suit into his skin, inflicting third-degree burns on his arms and legs. After setting the home on fire, Pardo changed out of the Santa suit and drove to his brother's house in Sylmar, California, where he later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. His brother was not present in the home at the time of Pardo's death. Police discovered $17,000 in cash strapped to his body, and evidence suggesting he planned to flee to Canada after the attack. Pardo's rental car, parked 1 block from his brother's house, contained remnants of his Santa suit, booby-trapped so that moving the suit would trigger a fire and set off 200 rounds of ammunition. At Pardo's house in Montrose, police had recovered 5 empty boxes for semi-automatic handguns, 2 shotguns, and a container for high-octane fuel tank gasoline. They also found what was described as a virtual bomb-making factory in his home. In addition to 3 injured victims, the 9 deceased victims include Sylvia Ortega Pardo, age 43, ex-wife of Bruce Pardo; Alicia Sotomayor Ortega, age 70, mother-in-law Joseph S. Ortega, age 79, father-in-law Charles Ortega; age 50, brother-in-law Sherry Lynn Ortega; age 45, sister-in-law James Ortega; age 52, brother-in-law Teresa Ortega; age 52, sister-in-law Alicia Ortega Ortiz; age 46, sister-in-law Michael Andre Ortiz; age 17, nephew. Jeffrey Pardo appeared to be an ordinary man to those who knew him before the massacre. Born in 1963, Bruce grew up in Southern California, described as a bright but socially awkward individual. He graduated from John H. Francis Polytechnic High School and later earned a degree in electrical engineering from California State University, Northridge. Professionally, Bruce worked as an electrical engineer, and was regarded as competent, holding positions at several companies, including Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL. However, his career trajectory was inconsistent. Despite his technical skills, Bruce often struggled with commitment and responsibility, especially in his personal life. Bruce had a troubled history in relationships, which hinted at deeper issues. In the early 2000s, Bruce was engaged to a woman named Elena, but their relationship ended abruptly when she discovered he had drained their joint savings account, leaving her financially devastated. Even more shocking, in 2001, Bruce abandoned another girlfriend and their 13-month-old son, who suffered from severe developmental disabilities due to drowning in a swimming pool accident. Bruce refused to pay for his son's medical expenses, leaving the child's mother to shoulder the burden alone. These incidents revealed a pattern of selfishness and irresponsibility, traits that would later contribute to his downfall. In 2006, Bruce met Sylvia Ortega, a 43-year-old administrative assistant and mother of 3 children from a previous marriage. Sylvia was described as warm, outgoing, and deeply family-oriented. The two quickly became romantically involved, and their relationship progressed rapidly. On January 29, 2006, Bruce and Sylvia married in a lavish ceremony at the San Fernando Mission, surrounded by family and friends. To outsiders, it seemed like a fairy tale beginning, but cracks in the relationship began to show almost immediately. The couple's marriage was far from harmonious, plagued by financial disagreements, personality clashes, and Bruce's controlling nature. Sylvia was used to a close-knit, family-centered life, but Bruce seemed to resent her strong ties to her extended family, especially the Ortega clan. Bruce's financial irresponsibility became a major issue. Despite earning a decent salary, he was unwilling to share finances with Sylvia. While Sylvia was paying for her children's expenses, Bruce secretly maintained a separate bank account and refused to contribute meaningfully to household costs. The situation worsened when Sylvia discovered Bruce had lied about a significant portion of his finances and concealed a prior child from her. Bruce's resentment towards Sylvia and her family grew over time, particularly after she filed for divorce in 2008. The divorce settlement required Bruce to pay Sylvia $10,000 as part of the separation agreement, and she was permitted to keep her wedding ring and family dog, which enraged him. Pardo complained to the court that Sylvia was living with her parents, not paying rent, and had spent lavishly on a luxury car, gambling trips to Las Vegas, meals at expensive restaurants, massages, and golf lessons. Additionally, he was ordered to pay monthly spousal support of $1,785, though he lost his job at ITT Electronic Systems shortly before the settlement was finalized. These financial burdens only fueled Bruce's anger and sense of victimization, leading him to believe that Sylvia and her family had ruined his life. The divorce was finalized in December 2008, just days before the massacre. Sylvia had moved on with her life, returning to the support of her large and loving family, while Bruce stewed in bitterness and rage. In his mind, Sylvia's family represented everything he had lost: financial stability, social status, and a sense of control over his life. His decision to carry out the massacre on Christmas Eve, when the Ortega family was celebrating together, was a calculated move to not only punish Sylvia, but also destroy what she loved most: her family. Bruce's background reveals a man whose inability to take responsibility for his failures ultimately led to his downfall. His controlling tendencies, selfish behavior, and deep-seated anger combined with his financial troubles to create a dangerous cocktail of emotions. The massacre was not a sudden act but a meticulously planned event, underscoring just how deeply his resentment and rage had consumed him. The motive behind this horrific act was clear: revenge. Bruce blamed Sylvia and her family for his failed marriage and financial woes, but the depth of his anger and the meticulous planning that went into the attack left investigators and the public stunned. The Covina massacre remains one of the deadliest family massacres in California history, a sobering reminder of how quickly joy can turn into horror. The tragedy left a community scarred, survivors traumatized, and a nation questioning how someone could commit such an atrocity. especially on a night meant for love and celebration. The story of the Covina massacre is a chilling testament to the darkness that can reside within the human heart. How could a man, once seemingly ordinary, turn into a monster capable of such destruction? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Could this horrific act have been prevented? And what lessons can we learn from this heartbreaking tragedy? Thank you for joining us on Mystery Minds. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and always question the world around you.